Low Effort Podcast. Welcome to episode 5.3 of the Low Effort Podcast. This is Matt Brayman coming at you through the cracked screen of the used smartphone, which shall remain nameless until I get a sponsorship deal. We're recording today in the beautiful Water and Ice Studios in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. And it's time to get serious, kids. It's time to talk about politics. I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about video games. Specifically PlayStation 3 games, because I think the PlayStation 3 is the most underrated console of 2020. Because it came out like 14 years ago or more. And so, of course, it's underrated. Nobody's playing it. But hey, people are playing these reissues of vintage consoles like the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super NES or SNES in nostalgia of the past. So why not nostalgia for PlayStation 3? I'm just ahead of the curve on this. So here's some PlayStation 3 games that I like. There's one called Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed. Obviously, brevity was not a concern for their marketing team. It's a kart racing game, which, if you're not familiar, a kart racing game is just a rip-off of Mario Kart. So you've got your little cutesy characters, and you can drift. For some reason, you always have to drift, which is when you slide around the corner to get a boost, and you have weapons, and you go around tracks. And the Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed is a little different than Mario Kart in a few ways. One way is that it's called Transformed because your kart actually transforms, and sometimes it's a boat, and sometimes it's a plane that can do stunts, which is really cool. And the tracks themselves transform, so you have to switch around to these different things, and the tracks are really cool. And there are different weapons than Mario Kart. So instead of shells, you have snowballs that can freeze people, and you can shoot bees, which is always fun, and firecrackers, fireworks, and you can get a giant baseball glove that catches things. So the strategy's a little different, so that's pretty cool. And then the most noticeable difference is that because they don't have access to any popular, well-known Nintendo franchise characters, all the characters in this game are Sega properties, some of which are recognizable, like Sonic, and some of them less so, like Nights into Dreams, which was a Dreamcast game, and Skies of Arcadia, which I don't recognize at all, Golden Axe, which I remember on arcade games way back in the day, Ninja Gaiden. If you're a video game player, you probably heard of Ninja Gaiden. F-Zero, there's another arcade classic jet fighter game. And then something called Billy Hatcher, which is weird and cartoony, and I don't get it. But despite the awkwardness of the IP, the graphics are really cool, the gameplay's really fun, and I really enjoy it. So there you go, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed. The other games that I want to talk about, game number 2 is called the Saboteur. It's 1940s Nazi-occupied France, and you are an Irish former race car driver and mechanic who goes around blowing up sniper towers and propaganda speakers and killing Nazis. And it's much like Grand Theft Auto, but the morality aspect of killing Nazis feels a lot more excusable than just going on a rampage killing innocent people and police officers and stuff. So I guess it's a little bit better in that way. It's pretty serious sometimes, though. I mean, you see Nazis pull people over and hold them at gunpoint, and then trucks come and the people get carted away. It's kind of terrifying. I think the game has actually been banned in Germany because of all the Nazi symbolism in it. But the cool thing is, when those Nazis are trying to take people away, you could shoot them in the back of the head, snap their necks and stuff. So violence, fun. Driving is cool. Climbing buildings is a little awkward controls wise, but it works, and it's fun. And then you have my final game I'm going to talk about, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. I'm kind of out of time here, so I'm just going to run through this really quick. Baseball player Curt Schilling spent $80 million of his own money to create a game that I believe was supposed to be an online multiplayer role-playing game, but it never came to fruition. So it's just a game with really cool graphics designed by Todd McFarlane of Spawn Comics fame. Story written by R.A. Saboteur, who's a fantasy author that I've never heard of, and the story, I don't care for that much, but the fighting and magic and stuff is really super cool. So there's another less popular game, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, but a super fun RPG. So if you're looking for some old PlayStation 3 games to pick up, those are my picks. I hope you're having a great day. Okay, I love you. Bye.